You don't know yourself without struggle. You don't know yourself without lack and scarcity and worry and fear.
Welcome to the Words of Wisdom podcast. This is the place to be to raise the consciousness within in order to create a life and business of ease, flow, and freedom. This podcast offers inspiring stories, strategies, and special guests to help you become your most aligned self. I am Minerva Maharaj, a former NBA Toronto Raptors dancer turned ICF accredited spiritual life coach, founder of Goddess of Wisdom Spiritual Life Coaching, and Star Seed Academy coach training. My soul's mission is to show you the impossible is truly possible. Thank you so much for joining me here today. Let's get to awakening your soul's wisdom.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Words of Wisdom. I'm so grateful you're joining me here today. Today, I want to talk about what it means if you feel like you've been doing all the things, all the work, you're making some progress, but you have the rubber band effect where you feel like you're being pulled back into the old self, into the old place, into the old way of doing and being that you don't want to be anymore. And ultimately, you should be feeling and thinking and doing and being in another way, your higher self way, your future self way, but you're just not there yet. And you keep feeling that elastic band effect where you pull back an elastic band and you fling it forward. Well, the reason you may be having this elastic band effect where you feel like you're taking a few steps forward, but you're being really pulled back and you can't seem to get unstuck or untangled from this place. And the reason being is because you are going through an identity shift or you need to go through an identity shift. Let's take money for an example. And you feel like you're making progress. You're starting to see some changes and shifts in how you feel about money. Maybe some money starting to trickle in again, or you had a big flow of money come in. And then all of a sudden, it's back to zero, all gone. You have this pattern of it comes and goes. And if you feel like you're often in that pattern of it comes and goes, it could mean that, and I want you to insert your desire here, whether it's the way you feel and how you want to feel, or you feel like you're so close to manifesting your partner, and then it doesn't seem like anything's happening, maybe within the business realm with clients and money, and it comes and it goes. And the reason I feel one of the things could be happening, it could be many reasons, but here's one thing I want to go deeper in, is that you don't see yourself beyond your current reality, beyond your current experience, meaning you don't see yourself without struggle. You don't know yourself without struggle. You don't know yourself without lack and scarcity and worry and fear. Because if you were to just pull all of that away from you, suck it out of your entire being, your thought patterns, your feelings, your body, your experience, who would you be without that? And most times, people will respond, not everybody, but if this is resonating with you, you may respond with, I don't know who I am without that. I don't know who I am without this pain in my neck. I don't know who I am without this ailment or without this disease. I don't know myself without struggling with money. I don't know myself without debt. I don't know myself with having a partner, like a life partner. You may have glimpses of that into what that might feel like and look like and who you want to be. You know you want it, but you don't know what it's like to have it. And you might be saying, because I don't have it yet. Well, if you've been listening for a while, I talk about this. You need to have it before you have it. You need to be it before you can see it, right? Let's go a little further into this. You need to be it before you can see it. But how do you be that if you don't know what it's like? You don't have experience in that. You've never been that person. You've never been someone who's been carefree, worry free, fear free. You've never been someone who's been abundantly wealthy all the time, who's been abundantly healthy your entire life. You've only known the sickness, you've only known the sadness, you've only known the scarcity. But if you want to start living a different reality, you need to start integrating, embodying, and being a different person, a different being, genuinely, completely, wholeheartedly. And that takes work. That takes a lot of work. That takes years and months of work. It's different for everybody because everyone has different learnings and growings to go through, different things to heal and release and clear and do that all over again. So, I'm going to give you 3 tips today on how to start transitioning from the old identity, the old self you've identified yourself with, into who you truly be and who you truly want to be, and who you are meant to be, and who you need to be in order to start experiencing more abundance, more wealth, more love, more health in your life. And again, it's a process. So take these 3 steps as just steps towards that direction. And maybe it'll lead to a bigger step, or maybe it may just really unlock a lot of things for you. Just stay open to it. But these are 3 powerful steps that will help you start shedding the old identity and start stepping into the new identity. The first step would be reflect, journal, meditate, one or all of those things, on who would you be without this life? Who would you be without the thoughts you have, without the feelings you have, without everything you feel like you need to be in order to get there, without all the limitations that you currently hold and embody within you? The first step is journal or meditate or reflect on this question. Who would you be without the struggle, the lack, the sadness, the fear? Without the thing that is currently holding you back? Or even if it's just a feeling or a sensation or a thought, who would you be without that thing? And imagine it being tossed away, purged out of your entire being, and you are just standing there as a clear slate. And chances are it's going to feel like a clear slate that's open, light, fresh, new, and you're not going to know what to do with it, but that's good. That's the place you want to start leaning into. So that's number 1, taking baby steps here. Who would you be without that thing? And that thing is the thing that's holding you back: fear, worry, doubt, scarcity. Who would you be without that thing? And write about what is like without that thing. Even more, be descriptive, feel into it, breathe into it, meditate on it, into that newfound space of you, because that's who you really are. What feels light is right for you. What feels light is the truth for you. That's who you truly be. You are not the heaviness. You're not the constriction. You're not the restriction. You're not the limitations. That's not who you really be. That's not who you truly are. It feels like that's who you are because you've been practicing it up until this point in your life. But you need to identify the things that are associated with the old self, who's your old identity. And you need to be aware of that before you can release that fully and consciously. Step number 2, and you don't have to do all this in order. You don't have to do all of it. Even just do one. Step number 2 would be lean into the old self I know we're talking about leaving the old self and leaving the old identity and rewriting the old identity, becoming your new self. But lean into the old self. Sit there, have a conversation with the old self like it's an old friend, like you're going through a breakup, and give yourself closure on the old self. I think we all have a story where we didn't get closure. What would it be like to have closure with your old self? Sit there in a chair, imagine it in front of you, or close your eyes and imagine yourself sitting at a table with your old self and have that conversation and start saying goodbye to the old self until that feels complete. And number three, the third thing you can do for your identity shift is throw a funeral. If anyone watched This Is Us, they talk about, I think it's William, didn't want a funeral. He wanted a funeral. He wanted it to be fun. And I always loved that. That resonated with me and stuck with me. Throw a funeral for your old self when it feels time, either through a new moon or full moon, or even this week or whenever you feel like I am done with the old self. This is something I do for myself. I've done for myself and I'm going to do it again and again. And actually I'm leading a private funeral for one of my private coaching clients soon, where we go deeper in all the things and do a whole ceremony and ritual around it to celebrate the old and celebrate this becoming and stepping into and the being the new. Throw a funeral for yourself, the old self, to say goodbye. And rituals are so powerful because it's a mark. It's a mark of something, the end of something and the beginning of something, right? And think about when we celebrate birthdays, even funerals. It is a celebration of life. Anniversaries. We're saying goodbye to an end of an era or a year or of a certain experience, even like graduations, retirement. We're saying goodbye. We're closing the chapter in one area, one part of our journey, and stepping into a new journey. And that's what you need to do with your old self, your new identity. And the more you do this, again, it's layered work, it takes time, it takes practice, but you will get there. That new identity will become your main identity until you're ready to shed that part again. So, those are 3 tips I have for you and 3 steps, really, because I gave you more than I had written down here. But I love going deep and I want it to feel complete. These are my 3 steps from moving from your old identity into your new identity. So take your time with this, do one, do all, but do it. And don't be afraid to take that leap and to do something new and different for yourself so you can start experiencing something new and different in your reality. I know this work is layered and it does take time and it could be emotional and it is a roller coaster, it is a journey. So I'm excited to share with you the Morning Manifestors Club. And in this club, I share with you weekly manifesting powerful practices to clear the blocks, to elevate who you are being and how you're showing up, so that you can be a clear channel for what it is you want to receive and receiving your desires into your reality. This is a monthly membership where we are going to meet weekly, and it's just $50 a month or $111 for 3 months. So go to goddessofwisdom.ca/morning manifestors club to join. You can join anytime, and we hope you will join us for our next week. Thank you all for listening. Send you all love and light.